Hey, this is Phil Browse, and I'm here in Charlotte County in South Florida, and I just wanted to share a couple of things with you real quick. I'm out here enjoying one of the parks on the water, and there's a storm coming. Actually, I'm feeling a few raindrops right now, but there's some dark clouds in the distance, and it's looking like we're going to get a good bit of rain. Life is full of adversity of all kinds. We get a lot of storms in our lives, and some of those storms are emotional difficulties. Some of them are physical difficulties. They could be social, they could be related to work. It doesn't matter. There's just all forms, all kinds of storms. And you know, as we try to overcome these, a lot of the time there are emotional scars, and there are things that we hang on to that keep us from progressing, keep us from success. I actually read something that a friend sent me this morning about how, you know, those kind of things don't heal right away, and we have a tendency to just cover them up. We have a tendency to ignore the wounds that we have emotionally and mentally. We don't treat them the same way that we treat, you know, our physical wounds. And this article that I read this morning, this person was talking about her little girl who had wrecked her bike and skinned her hands up. You know, cut them up pretty bad, I guess. And the little girl had put bandages on her hands. And then her mom came back in, you know, saw this, she saw the bandages, and she asked her daughter, you know, well, did you wash your hands and your wounds before you put the bandages on? Of course, this little girl, you know, hadn't done that. And, you know, her mom had to go in and clean out those wounds. She had to take all the bandages off and open it up and expose those wounds again, and then go in and clean them out. There was dirt and even little pieces of rock or gravel that were inside the wounds in her daughter's hands. And, you know, she mentioned, you know, that it's, you know, we need someone who can lovingly go in and look at our wounds. You know, we're exposed to this person, you know, and we let them clean out our wounds and help us get on to the process of healing. And it's the same thing with emotional scars, emotional wounds. If we don't let someone help us, if we don't allow ourselves to open up those wounds again and expose those wounds to somebody who has the ability to help us, they're not going to heal properly. And those things are going to fester. They're going to, you know, become a problem, even though we might ignore them, and we might be able to ignore them and cover them up for a long period of time. But eventually they will fester, and all along the way they will prevent you from getting to the point where you can actually, you know, foster relationships, and they'll get in the way of your personal progress and in the way of you know, your pathway to success, whether it's business or you know, people in your personal life. You can't have any kind of relationships, and you know, especially any kind of intimate relationships, you know, unless you take care of those wounds, unless you are able to get them healed, and that requires opening them up and exposing them. And sometimes the first step is exposing them to yourself. It can be very difficult to look at those things yourself and be able to, you know, think about it and acknowledge that you have those difficulties. So that was something that I just wanted to relay to you. You know, as I was reading that article, it was, you know, the author, she had a lot of great points. I just touched on a little bit there. You know, but think about that. Think about what it takes for you to move on, to recognize the wounds that you have, and to get them taken care of appropriately. So I'm going to leave that with you. You know, I hope you found some value in that, and you know, if you did, go ahead and click the links and explore my blog page a bit, and see what else, you know, I might have that you might enjoy. So until next time, this is Phil, and I'm wishing you all the best.